Okay, thank you. Good morning. Thank you for being here today to the students and staff of Crestwood High School and everyone who's joined us for the special announcement. In particular, I know we're waiting for Mayor Bazzi to join us. We have Superintendent Yusuf Masolam here with us and Principal Rani Abdulhadi as well. Thank you both for being here today. Along with, we have Crestwood High School teacher Lena Abbas and Hala Kamaya, Crestwood High School senior, also joining with us today. And we're here for two exciting reasons. First, to celebrate Michigan's first ever voter pre-registration week. And second, we are launching a new digital resource to help schools and youth organizations all across the state host mock elections this year as a way to get young people engaged in our democratic process. Voter pre-registration is new this year. It was passed by the Michigan legislature to make voting more accessible for our youngest citizens. And now everyone between the ages of 16 and 17 and a half are eligible to pre-register to vote. So if you're 16 or 17 years old and you're coming to the Secretary of State office for the first time to get your license or state ID, you'll be automatically registered to vote, and that will kick in as soon as you turn 18. The voting age hasn't changed. You still need to be 18 on Election Day to cast a ballot, but pre-registration eliminates that extra step for young people of having to register to vote if they already have their driver's license or state ID. Even for those young people who aren't quite ready to get their driver's license at the age of 16 or 17, you can still pre-register online at michigan.gov/vote or at your local clerk's office. To pre-register, you must be a Michigan resident, a U.S. citizen, and not currently serving a sentence in jail or prison, because pre-registration is new this year, and Governor Whitmer has officially declared this week as Michigan Voter Pre-Registration Week. We're hoping this week we will kick off education, engagement, and celebration of the new option for our state's youngest citizens, and I can think of no better way to celebrate than by participating in a mock election right here with the students at Crestwood High School. I've been hosting mock elections all across the state since I was elected Secretary of State in 2019, and we've seen them as a great way to get people engaged in the process and really thinking about their power and their role as young citizens entering in to the voting age population. And today we're going to get together in the auditorium here at Crestwood, and the students will select a Secretary of State, clerks, election inspectors, and canvassers. Then we'll decide what to vote on. Schools I've visited in the past have voted on things like best Thanksgiving meal, or best snack food, best dessert, or should a school adopt a policy to serve free pizza to all students, or will the Lions win the Super Bowl? After we decide on that issue, students on both sides will actually make their case to the voters, and then we vote. The votes get counted, canvassed, and the winner is certified. And because these mock elections are so engaging, I wanted to make this resource available to everyone. While I wish I could go to every school in this state to host a mock election, I can't, but all of you can help us do that. So we're launching a digital resource kit on our website today with everything that schools, teachers, and youth organizations would need to host a mock election themselves. You can find these resources at michigan.gov/mock-elections. This resource kit will show local elected leaders and communities how they can host mock elections at their schools or with young people anywhere throughout the state. Dearborn Heights Mayor Bill Bazzi is going to be joining us later today to talk a little bit about what this means for the community. And I know together with the Michigan Department of Education, we're working to get these resources and information about voter pre-registration to every school district in the state. I also want to welcome Superintendent Yusuf Masolam, also here today to say a few words. Dr. Masolam, can you share about how your district is making sure young people know about how to make their voices heard?
Thank you. Thank you, Secretary of State Benson, and thank you for everyone being here. And thank you so much for allowing Crestwood High School and the Crestwood School District to be a representative in this process. The Crestwood School District truly understands the importance, and we work with our students in their civic responsibility to register to vote, because every vote matters and every vote counts. And too often our students may feel that their vote or their single vote does not count. But we have been pushing the issue that every vote matters, every vote counts, especially in local elections. Our students are leaders between all of our different organizations, such as the National Honor Society and the Key Club, and other organizations that we have here in the Crestwood High School and the Crestwood School District. Constantly and consistently every year support the electoral process. And this pre-registration is another avenue to ensure that all of our students are part of this great democratic value, a value that so many of our students' families who came to this country came here for the reason so that they could have a say in the representation and the government. So again, thank you, Secretary Benson, and thank you everyone for being here. And we are so proud that the Crestwood School District is a representative of this process.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much, Dr. Masalam. I really appreciate that. Educators and mentors here and all throughout the state are critical to ensuring our communities can meet kids where they are and bring these experiences to them in a way that makes our election system more engaging and accessible, and I'm grateful for your leadership on that. Some of those educators as well who do this work alongside our superintendents are here today, including Principal Rani Abdul Hadi. Thank you for joining us and welcoming us to your school today. Would you like to say a few words?
Good morning, everyone. I'm going to make this real quick and get to the important people here, the kids. I just want to thank Secretary Benson and her team for putting this together and giving this opportunity to Crestwood High School. It's an amazing opportunity because our students really need to understand how important it is to vote and the civic duty that every citizen of the United States should, take and hold dearly, especially this time in day and age. So thank you for being here and providing Crestwood this opportunity, and it's great to have you with us.
Thank you very much. That's okay. And now I want to bring up Lena Abbas. She's a teacher and the co-advisor of the Crestwood National Honor Society, and is herself a graduate of Crestwood High School. Lena, can you share a few words about how important it is for young people to be engaged in our elections?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Lena Abbas. I'm a teacher at Crestwood High School, as well as a co-advisor for our National Honor Society alongside Diana Johns. I'd like to take a little bit just to talk about the importance of getting our teens and young adults familiar with voting, the election process, and issues that affect our everyday life. In order to make voting more accessible, pre-registration is now available starting at the age of 16. With everyone's busy schedules, especially our seniors who are finishing up their last year, applying to colleges and starting jobs, being able to pre-register is going to alleviate some of the pressure that might be alongside the process that comes with it. Today we're hosting a mock election at Crestwood. It's a good way for students to practice learning what's on a ballot, making a choice, and casting a vote. They're even able to see what happens after their vote is casted. Okay. Our hopes are that understanding and demystifying our election system will make it more likely that students will participate once they're able to do so.
Just ignore me.
Thanks.
There we go.
Thank you. Thank you, Lena. And now I'd like to introduce our student representative, Hara Halakomaya.
Hello, everyone. My name is Hala Kumeya, and I'm currently a senior at Crestwood High School. Back in my sophomore year, I was asked by a Crestwood National Honor Society officer to volunteer as an election volunteer at a local Dearborn Heights precinct. At first, I was hesitant and full of seemingly stupid questions like, what will I even be doing there? What if I mess up? And won't I be a lot younger than these other people? Despite my doubts, I realized that this is a rare opportunity for a high school student and decided to step out of my comfort zone. When I arrived, I was welcomed warmly by the other election volunteers, and immediately I knew I made the right decision. For the first time, I was watching democracy in action. The organization, the attention to detail, and the documentation that went into every step of the voting process was eye-opening to me. What stood out the most, though, was the dedication of the election volunteers. They made sure every voter understood the process and had the chance to cast their vote with confidence. One moment that has stayed with me most was the excitement that filled the room when a first-time voter arrived. As the entire team cheered and congratulated them, I realized how meaningful and impactful the voting experience really is. Now, as I start my senior year, I'm volunteering for the 5th time in November. Throughout this journey, I've learned something especially important. Even if we're not old enough to vote, we can still be a part of the electoral process. For those of us who are 18 years old, registering to vote and participating in every election is crucial. And for 16 and 17-year-olds, pre-registering now prepares you for the future. The decisions that shape our everyday lives are being made constantly, and voting is one of the most powerful ways we can influence those decisions. By staying informed and getting involved early, we contribute to a more engaged and representative society. This is especially true for young people. Our voices matter. We bring fresh perspectives that drive change on issues directly affecting our future. By getting registered and educated about elections, we empower ourselves and ensure our generation has a say in shaping the direction of our communities and country. I hope to see all of you at the polls this November. Whether you're voting or volunteering like me, we all have a role to play. Thank you.
So much. Thank you. That was really wonderful, and really want to thank all of you for being here today. I will be now going to kick off today's mock election, and it's going to be a lot of fun, and we think voting should be fun, so we try to make it so, particularly for voters who we want to, and citizens we want to see themselves as part of the process in the future, because the power they have in deciding the future of our country can't be understated. From the presidency to the Senate races and to representatives in Lansing. We want everyone to know, regardless of how they choose to cast their vote or who they vote for, that their rights, their ballot is their power, and we don't want anyone else to use that power for them. We want to hear every voice and count every valid vote, and that's happening often where even though Michigan has had the nation's highest youth vote turnout in 2022, we know that that's just 37%, which means 60% of our registered voters between the ages of 18 and 29 didn't cast a ballot in 2022. And it's great that we led the nation in the number of people who did, but we need young people who are active and engaged in our future to be a part of determining it today with their votes at the ballot box. Their day-to-day life is affected by elections at the national, state, and local level. And because we know that how important their voices are, we want them to know it too. And so my hope is that these mock elections and this mock election portal for anyone to use and host a mock election in their community will help us do just that and really reemphasize the importance of young people who make up almost half of Michigan's voting age population, have an important role to play in shaping our future and shaping the world around them. So with that, I'm happy to take a few questions. Yes.
Hi, John King with Michigan Advance. Is the mock portal something that you hope will help close that gap between youth voters who register and actually cast a ballot?
Yes.
You get good registration, but
Right.
then actually getting to the polls.
Absolutely. I think it's really eye-opening to see the vast majority of our young people who aren't voting are actually registered. And so translating those registrations into action is key for everyone to think about. And we hope this is one way in which people can experience the power of the vote in a way that is front and center for them in their daily lives, and then see the power of voting on a number of offices on the ballot in any election as well. What I've seen firsthand hosting these mock elections all around the state is that it may seem it may seem not counterintuitive, but not automatic to think that simply going through a mock election and voting for your favorite snack food would then translate into seeing your power at the ballot box. But we've seen that every single time as people and students come into these sessions thinking, well, does my voice really matter? And then exiting, not just realizing that it does, but realizing that voting is something to celebrate and to do as a community and have fun with. And that's what these mock elections can really demonstrate. And so my hope would be that community leaders, principals, educational leaders, local leaders, mayors, and others all around our state could use this portal, use these web tools to host mock elections in their communities and expand exponentially the opportunities for young people to see and experience the power of their voice in real time.
Just to clarify, please.
Yeah.
John Healy, WWJ.
Yeah, good to see you.
Out of the 8 million registered voters, how many, you said 18 to 29, make up the quote-unquote youth vote? Roughly how many are we talking about in that age range?
Well, we have just under 2 million eligible citizens who are 18 to 29-year-olds in the state of Michigan. The vast majority of them, all but 300,000, are registered. And so we know that registration is one tool to engage more, and we hope to ensure everyone is registered and then work to make sure they see the power of their vote as well.
How would you describe what you see in terms of politically involved? It's been a while for me. When I was 18, I wasn't necessarily politically honed in, but yet there's a lot of disenchantment in politics.
Yeah.
Today. Do you think kids are learning about it? Young adults are learning about it? Do you think they're turned off? I mean, where are you in regard to getting them involved?
I don't know if you want to respond to that at all. As a young person, I don't want to speak on your behalf. Would you like to? Then I'll respond as well.
I'll say that with the increase of social media use within the youth, I also think that people have actually been tuned in more. As a younger person, I'm definitely exposed to a lot of news outlets that I wouldn't really be used to. I don't open up CNN on a daily basis or any news outlet, but when I do open up TikTok, I do see a video that might pop up about some new political campaign or see that a new person has a new political agenda that I hadn't realized about before. So I will say that with the increasing use of social media, I think students and younger generations are actually more tuned in than people realize, if that answers your question.
Well, and to that extent, and to underscore that, we've been hosting also youth roundtables all around the state, from Traverse City and Marquette to the west side of the state and here on the east side. And what we've seen universally is an incredible amount of engagement and energy even around young people wanting to be a part of defining their future. The disconnect is around seeing the connection between what they want to change and the political process or government as a tool for change, whether it's healthier climate, safer schools, or other types of issues that are important to young people. And so what our job is also to ensure, and I think mock elections like this I found and I've seen useful in drawing that connection, is that we want young people to take their energy, their investment in the future, and help them see that government and investing in government and engaging in the voting process is an important way to be a part of defining your future. Yes.
I guess, yeah, if I could follow up on, in terms of youth engagement, and we're seeing a lot of, obviously, contention around election-related matters. I don't know if you saw the Bridging Divides Initiative had a report that in July, the number of threats against public officials had more than doubled from the month before. That kind of turmoil that is sort of building as we get towards the election, and the violent imagery and language is being used out there. Is there a sense that this is pushing back against youth involvement? That sort of like, I'm just, so I'd like to hear your perspective on
Yeah.
that, and then the students as well.
If you would like
maybe one of
to
the
put-
instructors.
okay.
Is that an issue?
Yeah, certainly the noise is designed to create a sense of chaos and confusion and fear and disengagement. It's, I would believe, intentionally designed to cause not just young people, but all of us to check out and throw up our hands and say, I don't know what to believe, so I'm just walking away from all of it. And our job as election administrators, as leaders in the state, is to try to change that, to cut through the noise and help people see the truth, which is that they have enormous power, not just to decide the future of our country and our state, but their own community as well. And so really honing in on that through experiences like seeing the power of making decisions and how that can affect even decisions about your school, I found to be important to draw all the connections needed. But without a doubt, the noise and the rancor and the threats, and even just the division that is an unfortunate element of political reality today, is designed in part, intentionally or not, to cause people to disengage. And my hope is that young people can see that they can be the force for good that re-engages us and brings us back together. Well, thank you. Thank you all again. Or did you? Go ahead. One more question, and then we'll go. We got a mock election to run here. Oh, yes.
And the printing. Can you, in a layperson-friendly way, cite your position and the status of the appeal and the timing that will impact on ballots being printed?
Yeah, I mean, I'm very sympathetic to the arguments on both sides. I think the law has been quite clear, and we'll see. It's on appeal right now. We'll see, and we'll wait for the Supreme Court to weigh in. Okay. thanks, guys. Appreciate it. And let's go mock an election.